Are you ready to upgrade your mindset and continue supporting your healing journey? Join the collective today. This membership gives you access to meditations, healing tools, guest healers, and manifestation workshops. Join today for just $44 a month and start manifesting more abundance in your life. Welcome back to another episode of Breathe More. I am excited for today's episode because I have a special guest, Edith Vasquez. I've known her, I don't know, 4 years now, maybe longer, where she used to come to my moon circles at my house and then has basically done every single program. And since then, we've become friends and collaborators. And the reason why I have her here is because I wanted us to talk about the intense cosmic energy and just the energy that we've been feeling in the world with Mercury retrograde, with the solar eclipse we just had, new moon. There's a lot of changes that I feel a lot of people are currently going through, big life transitions, a lot of things that like it's moving. There's no clarity, there's no settlement with it yet. And so I think that is also stressing and overwhelming a lot of people. So we want to share some tips and then also lastly invite you to join our upcoming spring retreat because so much of this energy that we're feeling and these nudges to really create the lasting change that's required for you to have the things that you want in your life. Like now is the time to start doing that work or continue doing that work. And our spring retreat is going to be an intensive of that to really help you shift the energy, be connected with your power, feel clear about what you want to focus on and what would be helpful, especially given that Edith is such an amazing channeler. Like she's always so validating with her messages. So we'll get into all of that and so much more. Thanks for joining me, Edith.
Gracias. Thank you for inviting. We planned this before and it didn't work out, but it aligned now during this silly Mercury
Yes.
retrograde energy, right? That's why I always say, don't be scared.
Yeah. So you just mentioned don't be scared. And I feel like so much of the messaging that we see online around Mercury retrograde, I feel like there is a lot of fear where it's don't sign any contracts or don't make any big changes in your life. Basically, it feels like just hold on to your breath and just
Yeah.
wait until it's over. But it's a
Don't
whole freaking
breathe.
month.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's a whole month that we're experiencing this retrograde plus also this intense solar eclipse, total eclipse that we just had. How are you feeling with this energy, or what are you seeing in your community of what's coming up for folks and what challenges are arising for them?
Claro. All Mercury retrogrades bring us mainly the same lessons. It's a planet that rules communication. It's a planet that is very connected to technology, to our vehicles, transportation, which is what we need every day. And communicating, we need our voice to talk to others, to connect with others. And I feel like there's a lot of these beliefs around Mercury retrograde at times, not only not signing contracts, but be very careful. Try to just stay home. Don't engage with others. But that's not really what Mercury retrograde is here to do. This planet, when it's going forward, it supports us. It gives us these signs of like how we need to show up. But when it's going backwards, one of my mentors said it this way, and it always reminds me look at it like you're going on in line, and then here comes Mercury retrograde. Say, "Hey, one moment before you move forward, there's something from the past. There's something that you still haven't honored. And once you face that, once you honor that, once you just shed light into that, you can move forward. So think of it like to not be carrying this baggage. A lot of times, one of the biggest fears that I tend to connect and I see it repeating itself, and even during this period right now with the eclipses, it's this fear of the changes that are coming up abruptly. And I say it abruptly because it really isn't abrupt. It's something that's been there all along, but we've really been ignoring it or not even ignoring it, but not really sure how to handle it or not really sure how to ask for support or not really sure how to feel with what's coming up, emotion, sadness, which all of that is that very valid. I've been noticing a lot of anger in a lot of my sessions with my clients. And I feel like this anger is because of control, because I don't want to just let it flow. I want to control it. I want to know what's going to happen. I connect a lot with the air elements. So I'm burning an incense. And as I'm talking about it, like just connecting with energy, it's going all over the place. And that's where a lot of our thoughts have been lately, our mind going to like, what's the worst that can happen? So in a lot of my private sessions, like holding space for my clients, it's been of just feeling that anger, feeling those emotions. saying out loud those thoughts that you're just keeping in your head of what you think is the worst that can happen, which really isn't the worst that can happen. And a lot of
Yeah.
times we are creatures of habit, right? Like we love the same routine. We tend to love this that keeps us safe. But Mercury retrograde comes to remind us you are ready for more. Stop playing small. Which that's something that all of us we're still working at times, but it's not impossible during a Mercury retrograde season to get an opportunity and sign that contract. It's like a big shadow of like, my God, I've been so scared of this. And here comes this contract or this change in homes or this change in vehicles because you've been trying to hold on to that car for so long. So a lot of the times I tend to tell my clients, if you can just take one thing during this season is be present. Stop trying to run away. Because the more that we tend to run away, the more that we're just running away from our reality. And then that catches up to us eventually. Give yourself permission to show up.
Yeah. I think that is so spot on. I'm definitely sensing that and seeing that in so many of my own clients. And then also just my friends. Seems like so many of them are currently going through a divorce or really big life changes where they're laid off or they decide to finally quit. So all of this has been already happening, but this time right now is definitely amplifying all of those unprocessed emotions. And so I like to view it as well as a time where things can feel really confrontational during this time and come right up to you in your face, really show you your shadows. And as Edith was saying, recognizing and accepting what truly you have outgrown, but you're still holding on because of fear. Like we all have these answers when we're completely honest with ourselves. Yes, it's great to get the validation and the confirmation when we do a session like with Edith or myself. But at the core, you know that you don't want to be at that job anymore. You know that you're ready to move towns or to put yourself out there and manifest a new relationship, whatever it may be. And so, yeah, instead of taking this time of being afraid or feeling ashamed because you are feeling so many emotions, lean into just letting yourself express it and things that I've been doing to support myself during this time to help regulate myself when I'm feeling the strong emotions are simple things like going out in nature, doing some earthing. I just recently did this practice with my dad where I'm like, okay, papi, quítate los zapatos, take off your shoes. Like, we're just going to stand here and connect with the earth and just allow ourselves and the body, our body knows like how to heal itself when it's given the opportunity. Creating the time and space for that, it's so important. Taking note of how are your dreams? How are you sleeping? Are you getting enough sleep? Sleep is also another common symptom that I'm finding that people are having disruption in. And as we know, sleep is so important. So maybe doing additional things to support you getting a good night's sleep. Also leaning in for support. So much times, like I feel like, especially when we're going through something hard, we tend to shut down. We feel so many emotions can come up, shame or the anger, the frustration, and maybe we don't want to share it because we're afraid of what are people going to think, or people always thought that I had it all together. And what now I'm going to share that my life is falling apart and that feels unsafe. But when we do lean in and open up and we're vulnerable, and then we ask our community for support, people are so ready and willing and wanting to help us and be there for us. And so that would be my invitation as well to folks right now to reach out for support, be in community, be honest with yourself, do the journaling. Those are all tools that have been so helpful for me and I know for my clients during this time. So, we talked about what people can expect or might be feeling during this time. The reason why Edith and I decided to host a retreat during the springtime is because it's such a powerful, potent time. You can look at nature, right? It's like nature is coming alive right now. I am living in Idyllwild and I'm seeing all these baby deer everywhere. Daffodils are starting to bloom. The trees are starting to get their new leaves. The weather is getting warmer. And the same reflection we can see with ourselves and our life, right? Where we've come out of that hibernation, that sleepy energy. But I feel like, given all of this cosmic volatile energy and movement that's happening with planets and the stars and everything, it has felt very abrupt and almost a bit traumatizing, dramatic to experience it. So, our spring retreat starts once Mercury is no longer in retrograde. So, the last day of Mercury retrograde is April 25th. The first day of our retreat is April 26th. So, we're going to help you for this weekend to process what has come up to the surface, whether it's emotions, whether it's these life transitions that you're going through. But then we're going to transition into an energy of empowerment, an energy of expansion, of remembering your gifts, of remembering your purpose. So we have a weekend planned of so many different things that we're excited to guide you through. Edith is such an incredible channeler, psychic. She's a curandera. So many of the exercises that she's going to guide us through are the energy clearing and healing. You want to talk more about what they can expect with the exercises that we're going to be doing with you?
Claro. So I'm incorporating a little bit of my everything magic. We're going to start off with limpias, which is a form of cleansing our mind, our body, our soul. I look to use herbs to help us with releasing stagnant energy. And I'm going to be doing an intuitively guided limpia to help you with connecting with your intuition. So your own mind, body, and soul can guide you on what it is that you're needing, your specific needs to release in this retreat so you can step into this next light, next journey of yourselves. I'm going to be calling in our ancestors to hold us, to guide us. They are with us all the time. But I know for many of us, if we don't have those spiritual gifts or we have a hard time with trusting our intuition, we tend to doubt that they are guiding us. So I'm going to be that vessel that brings you those messages that you're ready to receive for that confirmation, that guidance, that clarity. We're also going to be connecting with crystal magic. Crystals have been around for hundreds of years and they help us. Each crystal has a different healing modality. So I already picked out all of the crystals that I'll be taking to the grid and that you'll be taking also home with you. The ones for the crystal grid, we'll be charging them out in Idyllwild in the mountain during the hike. And then we're taking them home to support us. But we're going to eat a grid, which crystal grids amplify our intentions and the energy of our beliefs, of our thoughts, of where we're ready to call in. So that's going to be so magical. I love crystal magic.
I'm so excited for that part because the first part of our retreat, it is gonna be like the shedding, the letting go of the old, releasing what isn't yours, and also what you've outgrown. And so through the limpia, through also breath work, embodiment exercises, and then we're going to lean into that expansion energy. And so there is gonna be a guided hike where I take you to the place where I've been going to manifest, which I feel it's a really beautiful and powerful place where you go to the top of the mountain and you just see this amazing expansive view of the town, but also you're on a bedrock of crystals, old crystals in itself, like granite rock, like these incredible stones that we're going to be creating this crystal grid to help amplify our desires even more. So we're bringing the witchiness to nature and collectively projecting and declaring our goals, our dreams, our desires out into nature, into the universe, and then using the elements to amplify that energy. It's going to be so magical. There's gonna be also some inner child play with some aerial yoga. Lily, she's a yoga
I'm
teacher in
excited for
town.
that.
Yeah, it's gonna be so fun as well. And not just inner child play, but it's a physical embodiment practice of surrendering and trusting, which is exactly what this energy is about right now with Mercury retrograde, with the solar eclipse, where things seem super chaotic, where things feel like they're being pulled out of our life without us expecting it or wanting it. And so, what does that do? That invites us to trust and surrender. And so I'm excited for all of you to experience that as well. And then what else do we got going? We're going to be just in a beautiful community. It is an intimate retreat. There's only room for 10 people, and 8 people have already claimed their spot. We even have a couple joining us, which is so exciting. So we do have a man attending, and how incredible that this couple is spending the time together. They're leaving the kids with a sitter, with family, and they're coming to do healing as a couple and also just expand and manifest and connect with their goals. We have a founder of a company who was also going through a big career transition. And so she's joining to further trust her vision for the future and also release old identities, as Edith was talking about, which is also the time to do that. I have some alumni who are attending who have attended every single retreat that I've offered for the last 4 years. They were the first ones to join, and so they're gonna be there too, and so it's a really great group of people, and we have 2 spots left, 2 private rooms, or you can also bring a friend and share a room with them, where I also have a room where there's 2 different beds, so you're sharing a room, but you have your own bed. So we can't wait to see who decides to join us. The fee for attending, which is all inclusive, all the healing and manifestation exercises, all of the food and beverages, lodging is included. And so for a private room, it's $1,800. You can give a 500 deposit plan, and then we can also do payment plans if that's helpful. Or if you want a shared room, that's 1,500. And we also have just a weekend pass. So if you are a local or if you want to find your own place to stay, that's 1,100. So prices are really accessible because we don't want money to be a blocker, even though your mind might tell you, like, no, I can use my money a different way. This is an investment in yourself. It's an investment in your peace, in your healing, in your well being, in your future. So I always put a lot of thought and really want you to have a lot of value and to have tangible things that you can take home with you where you can continue this practice so it doesn't just feel like, oh, I went for the weekend and then now I'm feeling lost again. No, you are supported throughout. Like you will have tools that you can take with yourself to continue to do. There's community. We're going to be sharing and opening up, and you're going to be reminded that maybe right now you're feeling alone and lost, but there's other people out there going through something very similar or who have already gone through it. And so it will be a time as well for you to connect with a sense of hope and possibility and give your mind evidence of what else is possible as well for you with all of these shares. So I'm very excited. I can't wait. I can't believe that it's already happening in 2 weeks. It's just around the corner. So for those of you who are procrastinating and who are the last minute folks to always sign up for things, reach out today. Send me an email to claim your spot and we'll get you set up. So excited. Anything else that you want to share around what people can expect or oh, you wanted to channel a message too, right? For
Yes, yes, absolutely. And to add lastly to, I've attended s- several of your retreats personally myself, and I've always gone with the intention of like, I'm just here to surrender and to receive. And I truly have left with what I've needed. This is the time right now to really give yourself permission to be supported and guided. I love to incorporate numerology a lot, but this year is a year number 8, which represents a lot of balance, a very karmic year. So if we've been with ourselves, this is a year of rewards in many different forms. And it's not in a way to put in fear, but to remind you these rewards are waiting for you. These opportunities are waiting for you to claim them and to step into that. It's definitely a year where you're ready to put your foot in the water, like they say. Because last year was a year 7. And for many of us, it was like they call it the student year. We were learning a lot of things, trying different things. But as we've navigated from last year into this year, many of us, it's that urge of like, you're ready, step into the water. So I feel like this retreat in this timing right before summer in the middle of the year, it's definitely going to give you the tools and the support that you need to really step into the next season that you're ready to. Not that you're not ready to, because we're not there to force you or rush anything into you, but to support what you are ready for. So, whatever is dying right now in your life or you're no longer identifying with, and maybe you're not saying it out loud, but you feel it, know that that's all valid. And that's a lot of what this energy right now eclipses remind us of what doesn't serve us anymore. So, if you're going through like a death, moment right now, feel it. Because even we're going to be having a full moon at the end of the month, which is known as the pink moon. It's also known as like that phoenix rising energy. So, this death moment you're feeling right now, we're about to transition into that full moon, that pink moon energy, which calls us in to bring in that rebirth of ourselves. So, you're not alone. We're here to guide you. and how magical that'll be in the middle of the forest, the
Yeah.
woods, in a way where we can truly recharge and disconnect. Because for a lot of us, that's truly what we are needing right now, disconnecting. And Mother Earth has a powerful way of just grounding us and bringing us back home. Our ancestors did that for hundreds of years. Now, we there's it's more modern and different things, but our ancestors, that's what they would do to connect with community and ground themselves to support each other, is have each other's hands.
So
So
excited.
expect that and more.
Yay.
I want to channel whichever message comes out, what we need to hear. I feel like there's definitely a deep message right now of like, stop doubting yourself. I keep hearing your guides say, like, you keep questioning yourself. You keep wondering, why didn't this happen before? Like, I would have been ready 5 years ago, or I would have been ready last year. No, you weren't ready then. You're ready now. So accept that. There's like, we were saying about like taking that step, and that's one of the cards that's coming up, right? Like taking those conscious steps that you're really ready for. And regardless of the gender in the card, applied as it resonates or how you identify, this card is a reminder of who you are, is who you're meant to be. There's like an identity. Maybe you're feeling like, I keep hearing you guys, it's not an identity crisis. So maybe you're feeling that like, oh my God, I don't know who I am. I don't know who I'm becoming. Like, where did this come from? But deep down inside, your soul has been asking for more. You've been wanting to, like, for some of you, you've been wanting to find more of your true identity. And sometimes you feel like that black sheep in your family or around people that you're like, who do I think I am? I get a lot of throat chakra energy. So I feel like it's been very hard to just speak it out loud. Here you go. We were just talking about the rewards, right? It's a year of claiming those rewards. And look at this person like finishing that marathon. Right? You're almost getting to the end and your reward is coming. You're completing that cycle that for a very long time you thought you couldn't do it. And for some of us, it's going to feel like that death moment because we are doing it alone. And right now, if we can't bring other people along, that's okay. And those other people might be your family, might be a partner, that they're not ready for more, but that doesn't mean you have to hold back. Give yourself permission to show up. And I always say this, and I feel like saying this again. I assure you that the work that you're doing on yourself, it will impact your lineage. It will impact the people around you. Now, we don't have any control with others. We can only control ourselves. So this is your journey to control your path, to step into what you want. Stop trying to focus on others. Because I feel like for some of us with relationships that are coming up right now, it's with this fear of like, what if we outgrow each other? But it isn't something that you're doing wrong. It's a two-way street. So what is it that that person, if that resonates, isn't willing to put in the work for? And lastly, the power, the truth, the connection card. And it's about our chakras being more balanced, being more present. If you've ever heard about chakras, each little button that you see here, that's how I would like to define it, represents something different in our body. And a lot of times when they are unbalanced, that's why we're feeling a little bit stuck here or a little bit doubtful. So for some of us, we're just needing to find that balance. You're not lost. Like I keep feeling wavy energy, like, oh my God, I feel a little bit imbalanced. But that's just that sign from your guides. This just doesn't feel right anymore. Be okay with asking for more. And this card always reminds me also of the energy of surrender. Stop trying to hold everyone. Stop trying to do everything. At the bottom of the deck, lastly, the shaman energy with the eagle and talking about cleansing ourselves. And this always reminds me of that older version of ourselves, future version of us saying, like, I know I'm guiding you. You're not lost. I know that I'm pushing you a little bit out of your comfort zone, but it's so you can step into what you want to become. This identity that you're doubting, it's not because that's not who you want to be. It's because that's who you truly want to be. But we might be worried a little bit more about how others will perceive us right now, which I know we talked about that a little bit ago, but it's coming up. And it's interesting that a lot of these cards were with the number 8. 7 plus 1 is 8. The angels of the chakras, 5 plus 3 is 8. And then these other two cards are different numbers. But I just love that those numbers are aligning. Like this is a year for you to really step into what you want to truly be.
So
And don't be
good.
scared. This is your timing.
Yeah. So you just got a taste basically of like the channeling, the validation that's going to happen. For those of you listening to the podcast, that clicking sound is her shuffling the cards and allowing
Mhm.
intuitively just the messages that need to come through for the collective. So just a little taste of the magic you will be experiencing at our spring retreat. So it is time to say yes to yourself, to the expansion, to be in community, to move your energy to get nice and sparkly and magnetic. We have so much control. We've been talking about there's a lot that we can't control, yet at the same time, there's so much that
No.
we can, right? We can control how we treat ourselves, how we show up for ourselves, how we take care of ourselves, how we think about ourselves and others and life. And that is one of my personal goals, is to always empower you to have the thoughts, to have the outlook in the way that's going to be supportive to your goals. So that is my own personal intention for us at the retreat. I can't wait for us to gather in just 2 short weeks, April 26th through the 28th. If you would like to attend a day early, that's also accessible to you as well. If you want to spend a full other night, we can do that so that you can start to unwind and become present and slow down, because we are so busy and constantly distracted and numbing ourselves and just like not in the present moment, and just doing that simple act of coming back to what's in front of you right now is so empowering. And it really gets us in a place of clarity and what to do next. So that's my invitation to all of you as well. Thank you, Edith, for sharing your magic with us today. And I can't wait to see you in 2 weeks. And again, send me an email for you to join us, or go to my website. You can click on the show note to get the link. And I can't wait to see y'all real soon in Idyllwild.
Gracias.
Bye.
Adios.